Yeah, hello, I'm Carl Paulson. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer at Hiscox Insurance. Yeah, look, we're engaged in a digital transformation journey with Ivalua at the core of what we were trying to do from a technology perspective. So that fits right across the broader supply chain ecosystem. So things like supplier risk management, including sustainability, through to source to contract and procure to pay approaches as well. So we're buying things through Ivalua. We're running all of our sourcing initiatives and projects. There's some great early benefits coming through. Transformation journey operates on a number of different levels. We are, prior to Ivalua, a greenfield site from a technology point of view in terms of supporting the supply chain. So our key metric is all about bringing spend under management. When we started this journey, it was about 20%. At the end of last year, it was pushing 60%. So in 2 and a bit years, we've made very considerable progress. A majority of that being last year, the first full year of deployment for source to contract. We're hoping that we'll get that by the end of our business case cycle to north of 80%, and I suspect that probably north of 90% shortly thereafter. It can help, and of course, ultimately that turns into some dollar outcomes for the business. The more we can drive spend under management, the more efficient we can become, and the more value we can create in our business, and that's super important. Without technology, we wouldn't efficiently be able to comply with those regulations. Within Ivalua, we're able to make calls out to our due diligence engine. We're members of the Financial Services Qualification Scheme. That's a joint endeavour by around 70 financial services organisations in the UK and growing now in Europe as well, which is based on the fact that we all have to be compliant to the same regulations. Yeah, we've got different risk appetites, but the regulations are the same, and our suppliers jointly just answer one question set within that technology. We suck that data, a lot of that data, into Ivalua. That helps with our risk scoring. It helps to keep our business stakeholders informed every time the supplier updates things like their insurance details, their exit plans, and so on within that system. That really helps us to be able to deliver a much more focused supply chain risk and assurance system. Working in financial services, it's incredibly regulated, and rightly so. Ivalua gives us the ability to be able to take due diligence to the next level, from sourcing events through to annual risk attestations, and our ability and our suppliers' ability to be able to show at every point in the cycle how they are mitigating risk, and that produces a lot of information, some of which we're able to automate and therefore take some of the advantages of that. In Europe at the moment with DORA and those particular regulations, there's an awful lot of reporting that has to be done, and we're looking right now at how we can reconfigure our Ivalua Risk Centre to help do that in a more automated way, but of course still a way which enables good compliance. Making the technology a good fit was primarily its ability to use REST APIs to bringing a lot of microservices that we need in order to do effective risk management on our supply chain partners. I'll give you one example of that. That we have a REST API call out to TrustPair, so we're validating suppliers' bank details to guard against fraud and ensure correct payment. So it's just one example of how the Ivalua architecture really allows us to do that at pace. If you wanted another example, I could talk about how we use similar technology to bring in EcoVadis scores and to co-create improvements in sustainability performance overall, utilising that as our base build.